Hello everyone. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Humerawood, and this is the fourth episode of Humerawood. With it being Halloween time, I thought I'd dress up a little, have my cat ears on. I'm actually dedicating this episode to Hollywood director M. Night Shyamalan. He was born in India and raised in Pennsylvania. He's known for his supernatural thrillers. His movie Sixth Sense is actually the second highest grossing film worldwide, and it's of all time. I'm also dedicating this show to the scream queen of Bollywood, Bipasha Basu. She dated a really famous Bollywood hero for many years. She's married now to someone else, but I actually met her ex-boyfriend, who's superstar Bollywood hero John Abraham. That's me with him, and that's my son when he was really little. This was before a show in Washington, D.C. That's him with my niece, Faria. So I'm going to be joined by Madhu, who's my team member. Everyone knows her from my last couple of episodes. Actually, the last episode, she was ill, but she's feeling healthy, and she's back today, thank God. Hello, Madhu. You look wonderful. How are you?
Guys that I worked with, and that was my credit on TV show Good Girls. It's always nice seeing your name.
That was all on HBO, right?
This was actually NBC. So,
okay, but the one before that wasn't The Watchmen, was
yes,
HBO.
Yeah,
yes.
The Watchmen was HBO. This was a behind-the-scenes shot on The Watchmen.
Oh, okay. Is this in Atlanta?
This isn't in Atlanta. This is in an outskirt, kind of in a town kind of far away. But this one's a neat shot because it gives you a little bit of an idea on what we do. The green screens that you see behind there are where we set up the effects. I think for this particular effect, the screens further in the background, we basically kind of made it look like those were on fire. And
oh, wow.
the green to your right, we just basically did some damage to that building. So there you see all the extras kind of standing around with some of the people who are actually working there. And then we take that footage and we make the magic happen. So.
Wow, what is okay, can you tell us what is this photo?
Yeah, this one's actually pretty funny. The cow thing, it comes back up on and off in my life. So this one's also from The Watchmen. Basically, these were kind of markers there because there's a scene in The Watchmen that takes place in a cow field, and we had real cows along with computer-generated cows. And we needed to basically have some markers out so the actors didn't run through where we would be creating a cow that wasn't there in reality. And so that's, a lot of green screens. We spent a day cutting these cows out and making them. And
wow, you do everything.
Yeah. In the picture that you showed a little bit earlier, I still had some of these guys hanging out with me through the whole shoot. This was kind of towards the beginning of the show, and I grew kind of partial to them, so I hung on to them for as long as I could. So they're in my office in that other shot.
So when you're responsible for the artist working on a specific sequence. Mm-hmm. So how does that happen? How long does that usually take? Are all the actors and the stunt doubles and everybody you work with all of them? Mm-hmm. How does that happen?
It's an interesting department to be in because you literally have dealings with every single aspect of it. So it basically just comes from you're reading the script, and the script says, I don't know, we'll just make up a script real quick, but say the scene calls for, like in the last one, like fire and explosions and things like that. So you start getting with your artist and working out some rough ideas, basically kind of riffing and coming up with kind of a general idea so that everybody's on the same page. Everybody kind of knows what you're going for. Then you usually go in and you shoot the footage, and the actors kind of have to play what we're going to eventually create is actually happening. And then we get that footage, and usually within a day or two after it's shot, we actually start working on it. And it takes it's kind of a fine-tuning process, really, because you go through several basic drafts of it. of the effect until you kind of get what you're going for. And, you know, sometimes you have to go back and reshoot things. There's all sorts of things that can come up just with film in general. You know, COVID being a really good example of that, with things kind of having to be shut down.
Sure.
Middle.
How is it affecting the film industry in Atlanta with COVID?
Yeah, so things got shut down for about 4 or 5 months. I mean, it just was dead. I mean, kind of like everywhere, really.
Sure.
They just recently kind of got all the safety protocols back in place, kind of a month and a half ago, in terms of what would be happening on set. And so now through the end of the year, they kind of have the things that were kind of shut down in the middle of this that needed to finish up are what's primarily being filmed here right now. And the next wave of projects kind of starts year's end, kind of going into beginning of next year. And, you know, once things get up and going again, everything will be fine. I mean, just kind of like everything else, as long as everybody's safe. But yeah, it's just kind of testing the waters right now to figure out what works and what doesn't in this new era.
Yeah.
So.
And